That's right, with the mic on. Yes, now we have the mic on. Hey, welcome back, folks, to the weekly Strange and Unusual show with me, Shock Illusionist, and Sperry, the anti-conjuror. Thank you, everybody, for tuning back in after our little hiccup in some of the technicalities that we had yesterday. But we are definitely here. We're definitely back, coming to you from Las Vegas, from AV Vegas, here in Las Vegas. If you guys can hear me okay, if you can see me okay, do me a favor, especially if you're on mobile, go in that lower right-hand corner, slam the heart, slam the thumbs up so that I can see, right, Tyler, with the mic on, suck a dick. Just go ahead, give me a thumbs up and a heart. Hit those buttons so I can see them explode in the chat so I know that we are all good. You guys can hear me okay and you guys can see me okay. I see them popping up over here. Hair Sleek and Donk, thank you so much. So yeah, this is the weekly Strange and Unusual show where every week I come to you guys live from Las Vegas and hang out with you. We hang out with each other. We got fans, we got abracadabasters from all over the world. I'm curious to see who is tuning in from the farthest away. So if I'm from Las Vegas right now, drop in the chat, type out, let me know where you are watching it from. And I don't want to see. Don't attach any images of your ankles with your pants pulled down to them like you're sitting on the toilet watching this, which I'm sure at least a few of you are. Let's be real. We've all done it. I know a few of you are at least watching this while taking a grumpy. But let's not be grumpy. I'm just curious to see who is tuning in and from where right now. New Jersey. We got Jerry Kaufman tuning in from New Jersey. We got Lisa from Massachusetts. Ava Marie coming from Germany. Mexico. Awesome. We got Mexico, Calgary, Florida. Chris from Florida. Is that how you even say it, Chris Anderson? I hear a lot of people, because I go through Florida a lot, and usually I always hear them say it like Florida. I say it like Florida. Well, now I'm thinking about it. You know, when you do that, you think about it, and then you start saying it differently. Florida. We're from Florida. Are these bagels fresh, Larry? Anyways, all right, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's start this thing. We got stuff to do, places to be. So let's jump in and talk about this really quick. So this is the weekly live chat where I join you guys from all over the world. We get together, we talk about the strange and unusual, conspiracy theories, supernatural. I share magic tricks with you guys, teach you how to do some magic tricks. We talk about classic, vintage or old school film and movies. Some even are ones that maybe you haven't seen before, and even better, we share some music that maybe you haven't listened to before, etc. Sean Scott is in the chat. What's up, guys? If you don't know who that is, Sean Scott, he's come to my weekly show that I do here in Vegas called Black Magic Wednesday. He's come many times. He's a great creator. You've probably even seen some of the videos of magic that I have posted and that I do. You've probably actually seen me do some of the things that he's created. He's a very smart guy and clever guy with magic. Chris Anderson, that's the old New Yorkers that visit here, or the ones that move there. Yeah, usually it's a dude with an over-tanned man booby body down by the beach with a lot of the chest pubes. I don't even know what you call it. Lots of hair, lots of fine hair, like a Chinese crested dog is what they usually look like. But actually, speaking of shows, we are getting ready. Get excited, because we are getting ready to bring back Black Magic Wednesday. If you guys don't know what Black Magic Wednesday is, it's the show that I do every Wednesday night here in Las Vegas live. It's always been limited to only 40 people each show. We are the original up-close show like that, the original show that gives you a free drink with your ticket. We're the ones that started it. We've been doing it. This COVID thing has shut us down, and we're coming back, and the only place to see it is in downtown Las Vegas at the Griffin, the best goddamn bar in Las Vegas. If you haven't been there, come and check out the Griffin at Las Vegas, whether I'm doing my show or not. This is where I bring people to from out of town who have never seen me before or anything, or never even been to the Griffin before. If I'm not doing a show, this is where I bring them. Best bar in town. If you visit it, tell them Grandma sent you. They'll know what it means. So not only that, we also have other news coming up, and that is where I have some good news about toury stuff, some tour McTourson-y things. Not only that, tickets are officially going on sale, with more information coming very soon as we unfold more details and release more details. But my new tour, which I call Distorted Sorcery, new show, new tour is getting ready. It's coming back to Germany in 2021 im Herbst 2021. Ich komme zu Deutschland für meine Abracadabastard Freundin, meine Leute, ich liebe alles. Herzlichen Dank. See you soon. It's going to go by fast. I know it's a long ways away, but trust me, it's going to go by fast. And the things that the blessing, I guess, that you can say that has come out of this sort of lockdown and quarantine that we all have been involved in is that it has provided me no other choice with nothing better to do than to sit down and finish some of these ideas and things that I have been working on. And I am so excited to share them with you guys. They're going to be coming here to the Distorted Sorcery Tour, launching and starting in Germany. I'm not releasing or sharing any of this stuff that I've been working on until we start that tour, so you guys get to see it first, and then we'll bring it back home to America, where all my American friends and brothers and sisters can enjoy it as well. But Germany has always had my heart, been supportive all through these years, and I can't wait to come back to you guys. So that's in the kitty. That's in the Mew Mew. That's in the Mew Mew. It's been a week, obviously, since we got together again, and in that time, things have happened, like Father's Day. So anybody out there that's a father, wishing you a happy belated Father's Day. Anybody that is a father and you don't know about it yet, fuck, sucks to be you, man. That's some shit news that you're going to find out. And not only that, I need to give a shout out to my father, my dad, who I was lucky. My mom is actually in the chat. She shouted out there, but my dad was supportive as well. And actually, he got to see, as far as I know, as far as we have proof of, he got to see my very first magic show. And you guys get to see the proof of it right now. This is me and my dad. That's my dad. That's me. Danny Torrance, that's my dad helping me out over there. These are some little magic tricks. Actually, my dad had a few magic tricks that he had ordered when he was young. My grandparents held on to him. So as I was learning about magic and getting into it, my grandparents dug out all this stuff, all of his old stuff. Notice that the pirate hat is a necessity. That goes without saying. Had to have a pirate hat. Yep. And so that's my dad helped me with my first show. This is me. Also, got to give a shout out to my dad for also really teaching me about make-believe and having an imagination. He was very influential. Influential? Let's try that again. Let's adjust the teeth. Influential in blessing me with, I guess, inheritance of a creativity mindset. And this is actually a picture of, being talking about pirates. This is me dressed as a pirate in our living room. He would push these two chairs together, and that was, and then wedge this pirate flag, like from the dollar store or whatever, into the cushions. And this was my make-believe pirate ship that I had as a kid, so that I could pretend I was Captain Hook. Said, bring back that eye patch. I'll give you an eye patch, Lisa. This was me, growing up in my imagination. This was my pirate ship. I was sailing the seven seas, raping and pillaging. No, never mind. Let's try that again. Take two. Pillaging and setting fire, committing arson, doing all that stuff as I was a kid, carrying along and screwing around and living in make-believe. Notice I didn't have Spike at the time, but there is a stuffed Toucan Sam from Fruit Loops in there, and I can't tell what that book is. It's probably a book about pirates for all I know. Who really knows at this point? But shout out to my dad, belated Happy Father's Day to my dad, and thank you to my dad for helping really encourage me and have my back from a young age. So that's a quick shout out, and again to everybody in the chat. Oh, dude, David Cassis, one of the best, if not the best magicians that have ever come out of Iowa. He doesn't live here in Vegas anymore, but he did for a minute. I remember that. But good to see you, David. Thanks for tuning in. Hope things are good with you too, dude. Christopher Williams, yeah, exactly. Hey, you know what a pirate's favorite letter is? Oh, 'tis the sea. Okay, that's terrible. Thanks to Jake Rober for contributing shit comedy to the show. But as and this this whole thing, this thoughts that I've had about thinking about what I've done, and as Brian Cook coming in from Washington. I think you're still in Washington, dude. What's happening? A great builder, great woodworker builder too. Makes some really great little magic tricks, Brian Cook. But so I was thinking, about what I was saying just a moment ago. My dad really helped and encouraged me, and gave me this creativity to make these little pirate ships and anything else like that. I was thinking about being back on the road too, as getting ready for these shows that are unfolding and coming down the pipeline. I was thinking about how I would save money when I'm on tour, you know, because that's really what it's all about. If you really go on tour, and I'm not saying this to shit on anybody, but if you really are on tour, a lot of bands, a lot of comedians, a lot of magicians, a lot of entertainers claim that they're on tour, but they're really not. Like, have you ever slept in your own van in a snowstorm, freezing to death, with birds and trying, well, not literally freezing to death. Let's not get carried away, right? You can't even say anything like that on the internet anymore without somebody clipping it. And then 2 years from now, I'm going to get labeled an animal abuser or something. But what else is new? But, you know, for like the real tour stuff, how do you save money? Because before this lockdown happened, I was actually on tour and I brought with an extra duffel bag, and I was lifting toilet paper rolls, soap, shampoo, paper towels, because all this crazy stuff was going down about, you know, showing the shelves being empty and stuff. But this is stuff I've been doing for years. Like, as I tour, I just steal stuff. I don't even, that's it. Well, yes, I do steal stuff. Gaff tape is expensive. Hide your kids, hide your wives, hide your gaff tape, because the Dan Sperry show's coming to town. And, but I would just, you know, take all that stuff. And, you know, almost like when you see the old ladies at like a buffet, you know, dumping it into their purse or something like that. I would take that stuff, and I'm still living fine. I haven't bought any of those necessities in months, and we got plenty of them. But it's, you know, about being a cheapskate. That's what gave me, you know, thinking about this idea, thinking about it to talk about it a bit. And some of us in the chat, when we did our little pre-show test yesterday, even remember a video that I had made where I was on the road and I was at a hotel where I didn't want to pay to wash my clothes in the laundry room that they provided at the hotel. Because why spend $2 to wash and $2 to dry when they already have a washer and dryer in the hotel room? So I washed my personal items in the dishwasher, you know, like you do. So, you know, there you go. There's some nifty tips. If you ever find yourself on a road trip or anything like that, just hit me up. I'll tell you how you can save money, and in fact, maybe even turn some of that money that you've saved into money. I'm going to put you in the green. Just buy my course right now. No, actually, no, that's not true. I got a little carried away. Pass the plate! But it made me think about some things, and I came across this show. It's this show on Discovery Channel called Extreme Cheapskates. I don't know if anybody's seen it. I don't know if anybody's familiar with it. I've never really watched it, but on YouTube they have these clips of Extreme Cheapskates on it's on Discovery or TLC. I can't remember right now, but there was this lady that was featured on it. And she seems very nice. Like, I'm not trying to make fun of her, but there's a limit. Everybody kind of has like a, you know, you got to have a rule. You got to draw the line somewhere. I don't know where this chick draws the line. I don't think she even has drawn the line, to be completely honest. And she's a CPA, which so this makes total sense. This lady, Kate, she seems very nice. But she lives in New York City. So, I mean, I used to live in New York City for a number of years, right there in the middle of Manhattan. I totally get it. Oh, Donna, my mom used to pour the free half and half creamers into our water for milk. Shut the fuck up. That is disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. I mean, like, I've heard of things of like bricking a toilet and stuff like that, you know. That is different. That is not to be confused with upper decking a toilet. It's similar, but different. Bricking a toilet is not upper decking a toilet. For those of you that don't know, I'll just explain. Upper decking a toilet is when you take the back porcelain lid off the back of the toilet, you take a grumpy in there, and then you put the lid back on, and then you walk away. So that's upper decking. Bricking a toilet is something completely different. Jerry Kaufman, what is the intro music, and it is available to the public? It is available to the public, but off the top of my head, I don't remember what it is. I have it on some hard drive. I'll try and make a note to look it up for next week. I don't mind sharing that, just as long as you don't use it for your own live stream, because if you do, I mean, that's cool and all, but why am I doing work for somebody else if I can't even barely get my own shit together over here? So, intro music. I'll look it up. It's a royalty-free track. I honestly don't remember what it's called, but it's a royalty-free track that I looked up, found, and paid for. It came off of one of those subscription websites. There's, these websites where you can get that stuff, stock footage, stock music and stuff, and that's where I had found it, but off the top of my head, I don't really recall. Brittany Cater, my mom took pillows from a motel. That I wouldn't do either. That's disgusting. I always try and flip the mattress every time I go into a new hotel room as well, because you never know. Anyways, back to this TLC, this extreme cheapskates. This lady, so as I was saying, she lives in New York, she lives in Manhattan, and granted, that's very expensive. That is a very expensive place to live. So I get it why you would always be looking for and wanting to save money. And since she is a CPA, she's all about saving money and budgeting. Totally get it. But she dumpster dives for food. She washes her clothes in the shower while she takes a shower. Now, don't get me wrong. I am the king, and I will go up against anybody. I am the king of tour sink and bathtub laundromats. Like, that's how I wash my clothes on tour. I wash them in the sink of the hotel room or in the bathtub of the hotel room, and I got the whole system down. Maybe I should make a video about that. Maybe I should make a video about that. But because it's a process. It's a process. Don't get me wrong. So I'm totally with her. I totally get it. About the whole, washing your clothes, but not while I wash them in the bathtub shower of the hotel, but not while I'm taking a shower, not while dirty stuff is washing off of me onto, the other stuff. And then if you're washing your clothes while you're taking a shower, then that just means you can't pee in the shower. And let's be real. Everybody loves to pee in the shower. If you don't, you're a liar. It's like breaking the law without really breaking the law or whatever, So I brought this clip though, because this is what really kind of freaked me out. This is clip that we're gonna watch right here in a minute of Kate here, and she has a unique way. I had mentioned how I save and hoard toilet paper and paper towels and things like that from being on the road, but this is something different. This is what she does with her toilet paper, and this totally freaked me out. So enjoy this, and if you're eating anything like like a burrito bowl or something like that from Chipotle, you might want to put it down because it's about to get weird.
Now that's very hard to imagine. I can't believe that. I don't use toilet paper. I just use water and soap to clean myself off after going to the bathroom. I take this water bottle that I have and I rinse myself off. If I just urinated, I'm done with that, and then I dry myself off with one of the paper towels I have. If I took a dump, then I also grab soap, wipe myself down with the soap, and then I take the water and rinse off the soap. I don't believe in spending money on something that you're just gonna throw away, such as toilet paper or paper towels.
Yeah. So there's that. Now, again, this is where I said, like, at some point, you got Tyler P. Yes, waffle stomp. No, that's good. Yeah, you never want a waffle stomp. That's how you get corns and plantar's warts. So I've been told. But I'm not a doctor. But as I was saying, everybody draws a line. But even in my most desperate, broke times on tour, just making money to make gas to get to the next venue, sleeping in the van, all of that, I've never been to the point of where I'm gonna take a baby tooth lost sized piece of soap and cheese grate it in between the knuckles of my hand fingers to clean my bits. That's too much. And then just sort of bicyclist water bottle self-bideting. That is just a bit much. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that is where I draw the line. I draw the line at the hand wipe with the bar of soap, because just look at how much bacteria. Geez, how much bacteria do you think is even in that little soap holder puck thing that she's got? Like it's got to be an infestation. And I never figured out how to use the 3 seashells. What? I don't know. I'd rather use the gas station and wipe. Yes, and swipe some TV. Yeah, exactly. Tony Jacobs. There you go. Or if your bathroom doesn't work, or if you're on the road, just pay for a cheap membership to a gym, like a gym that is nationwide, and then go to the gym, and you can do all that stuff there. Wait, the bowl. Wait, Rick Robinson, the bowl. That's a Philippines thing. They use the bowl to bathe and for washing. What? Wait a minute. Now. So they, So they use, wait, that's all, I'm reading this, but I'm trying to understand. What you're saying is they are using the bowl to bathe, and that's the same bowl to rinse themselves down there? Is that what that is? That's how they're doing that? Look it up. Okay, right. Well, you seem to be the expert. That's why I'm asking. Look it up, he says. Why don't you look it up and just tell us in the chat? For Pete's sake, Rick. I don't think I'm going to look it up. That sounds terrifying. Pine cones all the way and free. All right, Christopher. All right. That's some Unabomber shit you're doing right there, Christopher. That's some Unabomber shit. But yeah, so that's where, like I said, that's where I draw the line. You know, extreme cheapskates. I think, what did somebody say? It was on TLC. Or you can watch it for free on YouTube. I've been on this YouTube rabbit hole lately. Like what else is new? But yeah, that's where I looked it up, and I cannot imagine. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Don't know about you guys, couldn't do it. Rather just hold it. You hold it. So now that we're, go to the right button. Let's try to put this in the right button. Now that we're kind of got things up and running, we got your attention. There's always a part of the show that I always do right out in the beginning, where I like to mention and bring up this section, this new segment that's been a couple weeks old called Old School Magic. This is where I talk about influential magicians from the past. Most of them you have never even heard of before because most of them are dead. So this week, though, Brent Smith, you seen My Strange Addiction? Actually, I have seen a couple clips of that too. I have seen a couple clips of the My Strange Addiction. Also, just as bizarre, but I wonder how much of that is set up. I wonder how much of that is actually real. Like the lady that, the one I saw was the lady that ate, it was something weird. It was dishwasher detergent, I think, or like cleaning, like Ajax or something. She had like Ajax and she'd lick it off her hand like it's a pixie stick, like it was sand. That was, like, how can you do that? That just seems not just strange, but extreme. Like that, no way could I believe that's real. But like the dude that eats like pizza, you know, it was chalk. Okay, she eats chalk. See, that just, but there was one though. There was one that I saw where the lady was eating something like a cleaner. There was also one where there was a chick eating her husband's dead, well, of course he was dead. Her dead husband's ashes. Like that one was messed up too. Anyways, back to Old School Magic. So this week though, I wanted to bring and share a guy. You've heard me mention him in the chat many times, and he's a good friend of mine, good friend of the show and the stream. I've worked with him many years ago, and he's the only one and the first magician to be featured here that is not dead, that to be featured in Old School Magic, and his name is Paul Kozak. That's my buddy Koz over there. You've probably seen him in the chat. This is from when he was living in Atlantic City, and when he had his show at the Tropicana in Atlantic City, which ran for many, many years after he left Las Vegas, and working and hosting and performing many shows here on the Las Vegas Strip. Many of them I worked alongside Koz with. And if you guys don't know, I'll do a quick retrospective, I guess, or whatever. Koz was, for a long time, still is, considered and highly regarded as one of the best, if not the best, comedy magician in the world, comedy club magician in the world. This guy toured all over, making bank back in the day, especially when comedy clubs were huge. This was the guy. This wasn't just the guy that was, a magician that worked comedy clubs. This was the guy that actually hung out with the comedians, was considered equal by the comedians, because, historically speaking, comedians don't, believe it or not, this might surprise you, comedians actually don't necessarily look to magicians that perform, especially comedy magic, let alone in comedy clubs. They don't really take them seriously. They don't really take the magic or the magicians that serious. They don't really think that they're that high on the totem pole. But Koz actually changed that. Even to this day, I have worked venues that have been comedy clubs or maybe still are comedy clubs where there are guys there that still bring up Kozak, that still talk about Kozak and everything that he did and the legend of Kozak. Now, Koz has his show running in Hawaii. I got to say it like that now or else they get mad, I think. Hawaii. He has moved to Hawaii. Obviously, a little bit of a change. He's found his mahalo and his, ta'a or whatever it's called. And still has an amazing show that's even better. It's very similar. I mentioned my Black Magic Wednesday show. Koz does one that's very similar. That's his comedy and magic show in Hawaii on the big island of Kona. It's also in his Tiki Gallery. So if you find yourself going to Hawaii on vacation or something like that, be sure to go see Koz. Check him out on the big island of Kona where he does his show. I think it's like 6 nights a week, whereas I just do mine 1 night a week. But he does his 6 nights a week and worth checking out. This is, he's obviously adapted, gotten a little older, calmed down a little bit. I don't want to give away too much personal stuff that he doesn't want me talking about, maybe without his permission or without him telling the stories. But this guy was a maniac back in the day. Still is a bit of a maniac. Let's not lie. But he's this guy. Speaking of Father's Day, this guy has basically been a magic dad to me for over 10 years. And I wanted to give a shout out to Koz and feature him in this week's Old School Magic. So this is the big island is Oahu. Oh, I thought it was Kona. I only was there once. I don't know. But whatever. He's on Kona. I don't know. For some reason it was referenced to the big island of Kona. Is there a small island that's part of it? This is where I don't know. Ask me about Germany. But anyway, so this is an old clip of Kozak where he had, I think this was taken in Texas, if I remember, at a place called Hyenas. Again, I could be totally messing this up. Obviously, I don't know shit about Hawaii, except how to say it right, apparently. But this is an older clip of Koz from back in the day. So obviously his motif, his style has changed a little bit as he's, like I said, sort of found his peace and everything in Hawaii especially. But check this out. This is this week's Old School Magic featuring Kozak. Yeah, so that's my buddy Kozak right there. My buddy Kozak. That was, like I said, an old clip, an old video of him, but I needed to give him a shout out because, like I said, basically a dude who's been my magic dad. So much of what you've seen me do was actually given to me by Kozak. Things like the idea to run the clips when I do the Russian roulette routine in my show. If you've seen it, the idea to run the clips of all the people screwing it up on YouTube. Me and Koz put that together back in like 2005 or 6 as I was working on it. Basically, the basis of the voodoo routine that I do comes from some material that Kozak used to do that he let me, graciously let me perform. So I need to give a big shout out to Koz. We first met when I was working and came into the world's greatest magic show here in Las Vegas. And I was already nervous as hell, right? Setting up backstage and getting ready to go on. And we didn't have individual dressing rooms. We had like one big dressing room with counters and mirrors going around it, with the lights and everything. And Koz was at his locker dressing closet. Basically, we each had like a dressing room closet that we would lock all our stuff in. But we're getting ready, and I'm opening the show. I'm the first act up. Koz was the MC and the host, so he came out. Basically did that bit that I just showed you, that whole routine, that whole bit, would open the show with that, and then boom, it was right into the first feature act, and in this case, that was me. So here I am, I'm like 21, my first time, legitimately being on stage in Las Vegas, and, surrounded by all these guys that are way, 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 way ahead of me, much more experienced and much older for that as well. But Koz, he was cool. I was nervous as hell, very intimidated by Koz especially. And here we are getting ready to go. The show's about ready to start. And Koz basically turns to me with his Red Bull. He's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He has the torch lit as he's about to go on stage. And he just goes, hey, Dan, welcome to the show. Just don't forget, this is the world's greatest motherfucking magic show. So don't fucking screw up. And then fucked off to go get ready to, stand in the wings and go on stage. And I shit my tampon. Like, I couldn't. It was the scariest shit ever. But it could only get better from there. So in hindsight, I know why he did it. But if that was the worst thing that could have happened and been said or whatever, or thrown at me, it made all of the rest of it easier. Got rid of all the other nerves and stuff as well. Becky, Elise Tyler, question: what is your best set that you may wish to share with us tonight? Oh, you're from the UK. Oh yeah, so tonight you're in the UK. The best set. What do you? Let me clarify. Just curious. I wanna clarify. Are you asking, Becky? Are you asking what is my as far as my favorite set? My favorite show I've been a part of. Favorite set as far as like favorite routine I've done, perhaps. Kyle Fryman, you're here just in time. He's one of the dudes that always jumps in the chats and hits me up as we discuss other various conspiracy theories and things like that. Good to see you, man. We're just about to talk about dinosaurs in a minute. So Becky, let me just clarify that, and then I'm happy to answer that question. Alan Smola, great story. Saw you both in World's Greatest. Oh, okay. Fantastic show. Yeah, so Alan, you saw him. And I think I saw you, Alan Smola. Did I see you at Abbott's years ago as well in the contest at the Abbott's get-together? Josh Walker! What's up, dude? Old buddy from back in the favorite team you've done, please. Okay, all right, stand by for 1 second for that. From back in the World Magic Seminar days, which doesn't happen anymore. Okay, Alan, I thought I recognized your name. It's a very unique name. It always made me think of s'mores, like making s'mores by a campfire. Not trying to offend you or anything, but that's how I always kind of remembered it. I'm doing Michael Scott memory stuff, if you've ever seen The Office. Right, and so Becky, all right, we'll touch on this really fast. Favorite routine I've ever done would probably have to be, I mean, this comes and goes. There's stuff you kind of, in a way, you put it into retirement or you put it in the vault Basically, you know how like Disney puts things in the vault and then you bring it out, you know, back later. There was one that I was working on, and I did it for a while. I haven't done it since. But it's one I haven't done in a while, and it's where I would cut off my tongue, and then it would dance around like on my hand and, you know, up on my shoulder and stuff like that, and then I'd staple it back into my mouth. I did that a couple times, and it's actually not an easy one to do or an easy one to set up, and so I stopped doing it for a while, but maybe I should bring that back. You know what? We'll put that in the kitty for Black Magic Wednesday. So once we start back up with Black Magic Wednesday, you can come and see it live if you ever make it to Black Magic Wednesday once Vegas opens back up. Lisa, yes, I'm not sure if you're saying yes to the polo bit, the mint bit, or if you're saying it to the dancing tongue. Maybe you saw it. I don't know. Maybe you saw the dancing tongue. I don't know. Show us the tongue. That's appointment viewing now, Lisa. You got to go to my many fans. What the hell's that? What's that? What's that? OnlyFans. Yeah. What's that thing where influencers that are on Instagram only try to scam you into marrying their Russian sister and like show pictures of them covered in tar and feathers or something, and you might see a nipple. Not that I know. I've never looked at it, but that just seems to be the type that it is. But who am I to judge? I'm talking about cutting my tongue off, and I've also caused my nipple to come off and go back. Do we still have that in the kitty from AGGS? Do we have Titty Twister? Yeah. I can cut right to it? Yeah. I should be able to. Let's just see if this works. All right, so hang on, folks. We're rolling something that we shared on our gaming show, because sometimes I share old clips and stuff. So here's another one that's old that I've only done like twice. But if you want to see something weird, talking about tongue and stuff, so ignore the frame of this, because we have our deck set up here for our game streaming that we do later. But here's another fun one from the vault, from the archives. Told you it was gonna be weird. So there, it's weird. But yeah, that was what I called Titty Twister. Chris Forbes, Miss Shotgun Bunny. Did that go to the vault? Sort of. Shotgun Bunny was broken, and and some parts of Shotgun Bunny were stolen in the robbery. So I have some parts to rebuild Shotgun Bunny, and I don't have some others, but. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna make a note of that for next week. I have great video of me doing Shotgun Bunny. So that's one that I haven't shared, because some things I don't when I create things and I perform things on stage and stuff like that, I don't always necessarily throw them online immediately. I don't just make things and put them on my Instagram, or make things, put them on my YouTube or whatever. There are many routines and things that I create that I keep exclusive to the live show. So when I'm touring and you guys come and see the show, that's the only way, that's the only place that you're gonna be able to see it. And one of them is Shotgun Bunny. However, next week, I'm gonna make a note right now. I have video edited and ready to go of Shotgun Bunny. And actually, I have a rabbit now. We could do it the real way now. No, we probably shouldn't. The real version actually involves a live rabbit, and which we never did, because I didn't want to have to buy and travel and live with a rabbit and get this rabbit. I've never owned a rabbit except till now. Now we have a rabbit. By the way, thank you for asking, everybody. Hubert's fine. His balls are gone. He has no balls. No balls. Let me take a sip of my giant Diet Coke from the AM/PM. Thank you to Las Vegas AM/PM on Jones and Decatur for supplying me with this delicious, huge-ass gallon of Diet Coke. But anyways, we're just going all off topic now. This is, though, a good part. Speaking of magic and things like that, this is where I'm going to teach you guys how to do an easy magic trick that you can do with things that you have sitting around at home and things like that. So this is what everybody gets excited for that we like to call Teach a Trick time. So it's Teach a Trick. Okay, so Teach a Trick time. This is where I teach you guys how to do an easy magic trick that you can do with things that you have sitting around the house and such. So this is one I'm just going to adjust. I'm going to adjust because you got to be able to see the top of the table right here. This is our lovely fancy schmancy close-up mat provided by, who makes these mouse pads? Amazon. Thank you, Amazon, for this big-ass mouse pad. That is also going to act as our close-up pad so you guys can learn this magic trick. This involves some cutlery. You can do this at a restaurant or something like that, or at home. This is a knife that we have here. I have a knife, but let's say you're sitting down eating and you don't need a knife. That's when you get your napkin, or in this case, we're just using this this bandana, this danbana, as I like to call it. You got to spread it out. Notice I spent a lot of time practicing this. You spread it out. You take the knife, you just got to put the knife in the middle of the bandana or in the middle of the napkin, whatever it is you're using at the restaurant. Notice we have the knife here, but you don't need a knife. Maybe you're out on a hot date with your mother and or your grandma, and you're stabbing at your fried chicken or your steak with the knife and eating it like a barbarian, and grandma goes, "Hey, that's inappropriate. That's rude. You need a fork." And you go, "Well, that's fine, Grandma. I have this napkin. I have this knife." And all you have to do is roll up the knife into the napkin, clap twice, snap once or twice, because you're doing it with both fingers, and say the magic words, "Epstein didn't kill himself." And lo and behold, praise Jita Bezos, the knife has turned into a fork. You can now eat. There's nothing embarrassing about it. Look at that. Praise Jita Bezos. There you go. That's how you do it. So here's the trick. Turning the knife into the fork. You can do a spoon to a fork or a fork to a spoon, but that just won't look as good. It's better to go knife to fork, or chopstick to fork is even better, especially if you're embarrassing yourself. Maybe you're on a business meeting or something like that, and you're trying to impress your wealthy Asian investors that are investing in your startup app from Hong Kong or Japan, Tokyo, whatever, and you don't want to look like an idiot because you don't know how to use chopsticks, right? So, okay, Lisa with the jokes in the chat. So here's what you do. You turn those chopsticks into a fork, right? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you're in this like really fancy pants business meeting with investors from Japan, from Tokyo or something, and they give you a fork for dinner, but you're going, "Hey, no, I know how to use chopsticks. I'm going to impress them." So not only do you impress them by using the chopsticks, you turn the fork into the chopsticks. You're welcome. So all you need is a napkin, a stronger napkin. You don't want one of those cheap papery napkins. A fabric napkin works best. Like I said, maybe like from a fancy restaurant, or a bandana. If you have a bandana, just take it off your head, put it on the surface that you're eating on, because everybody loves that. That just screams class. And what you do is you just secretly set whatever you're going to transform the cutlery into, it's secretly underneath the napkin, right? So you don't want to set it like this. You want to set it on top like this, corner to corner, right? So not square. You want it to go corner to corner. That is just picked up beneath. I just hold it behind here. You hold it. So when I come up, I just kind of hold the cloth, and then I grab it and I'm spreading it out behind. See, I'm spreading it out behind, and you want to set it down gently. You don't want it to go clunk, So you just set it down on the table gently, and you kind of get it adjusted so it's not right in the middle. It's actually more about just a little off center closer to you, so that when you set the fork down in the middle, it doesn't you don't get that going, right? So you set the fork down here like this, and when you roll it up, you're grabbing the knife, which is here. You're grabbing the knife and the fork together, and you're actually sort of leapfrogging the knife over the fork onto the tabletop, and then you just keep rolling. You keep rolling like this, so it just looks like you're balling it up. Now you want these two tails sticking out. This is why you don't do it square, you do it corner to corner, right? So with these two sticking out. You roll it up like this, and then when you set it down, you're just flipping it over. So now this corner that was closest to you is now pointing away from you, you know? So you're here. Once you set it down, you just kind of tidy up. And then all you're doing is just, you know, extending the corners again. It unravels. And essentially, you've just swapped them. That's basically it. You've just swapped them in that turnover. So now, the knife, let's get our brain working. You have your knife. The fork is underneath it. And you just throw that away. And there you have your knife or your fork or your chopstick or whatever. You know, that's all it is. And then this is secretly behind the bandana. So that's an easy magic trick that you can do with a fork or a knife or the bandana. Just whatever you do, you don't want to. Okay, I know this is gonna look stupid, but trust me, you don't want to eat the fork. Magic show. Okay, fuck it. Now, so there's an easy magic trick that you guys can do and have fun with that at a fancy restaurant. The fancier the restaurant, the better. Trust me, the fancier the restaurant, the better. You might even get a free dessert out of it. If you like tiramisu, don't get it because you're going to inhale it. You're going to start coughing everywhere. It happens to everybody. Don't order the tiramisu from anywhere. And let's be real, I've never really had good tiramisu. Every tiramisu tastes the same. It's not like I'm actively ordering tiramisu either, but if any of you guys in the chat are a fan of tiramisu, sound off in the comments right now. I'm very curious because I'd like to know what is the big deal about tiramisu, because I just don't get it. I don't get it. So there you go. That's your teach a trick segment this week. Now this is where things are about to take a turn truly into the strange and unusual. If you tuned in yesterday as I was giving sort of a little chit in the chat and a little shout out about what we're going to have planned for today, I mentioned that, you know, we have this segment where we talk about aliens, UFOs, unexplainable things like that, but we're changing it up this week a little bit. Instead of talking about UFOs, we're actually going to talk about dinosaurs. Okay, so this is where it's going to say this week in UFO sightings, but I wanted to take a break from it and talk about dinosaurs. So check it out. This is our This Week in UFO Sightings. Kind of. Okay, so as I mentioned, this isn't actually going to be about UFO. Jesus, Doug, really? Tiramisu? Hardly know her. That doesn't work. That's not how that works at all. Damn it! So, as I mentioned yesterday, and this all comes into play, it'll all make sense. It'll all come full circle. It all connects. Because I mentioned earlier that, too, I was watching these YouTube videos about the Extreme Cheapskates show, and part of that, I saw an ad for this new show that is about guys that go out and hunt for dinosaur bones, and they dig them up, and then they, sell them, and they talk about how there's so much money to be made. It's coming out on Discovery Channel. It's I think it's called like Dino Hunters or something like that. I don't remember the name of it exactly, but it got me thinking about this video I saw on YouTube that was put out by this dude named Eric Dubay, and he claims that dinosaurs never existed. So this is the video, though, of the ad. This is the ad video for the dinos, right? And the dino show. So check this out. It does. I'll give it to him. It looks interesting, but it does raise a few questions. So check this out.
Just like ranching, you work hard, you live poor, and you die rich. But it's one of the coolest feelings in the world to uncover a bone that is 65 million years old, and you're the first to ever lay eyes on. That makes you so humble. I love this life probably more than anything I've ever done. I enjoy ranching, but I live for chasing these fossils around. So you think we're getting about to the top of the bone zone? I thought maybe we were past it. Is that bone? Oh! Woo!
6 inches down.
Whoa! Oh! You were right. This is gonna turn into something, I think.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Ball piece.
Yeah, looks like skull, don't it? Always exciting when you find skull pieces.
Across the American West, ranchers are fighting to preserve their way of life, struggling to make ends meet raising cattle. A few modern-day frontiersmen have found a new way to save their livelihoods: hunting for dinosaurs. Montana.
You got to get out there and you got to keep working and you got to find something. Luck's created. Bam, there's crazy looking claw.
Wyoming.
Let's find some bones. Oh, baby.
It's a gamble. You just have to believe there's something there. You just can't quit.
Oh!
And South Dakota.
For most people, the T-Rex is the Holy Grail. They're the mystical dragons, and I found one.
This high plains ranch land was once a swampy lowland where dinosaurs lived, fought, and died. Buried by time, the remains were heaved upwards by a massive geological collision. Today, every storm that slams these high plains carves away at this ancient graveyard, revealing the last stand of prehistoric giants like Triceratops and T-Rex. Between the spring rains and the winter freeze, there's a short window to extract these fragile bones.
There's bone going this way, bone going there.
All right, whatever. You get the idea. These guys, they go and they hunt for dinos. They dig them up and they sell them, and it's all this, so much money and all that. But I remember seeing and hearing about, like, on school field trips and things like that, when we've gone to like a museum and what have you. And even yesterday, we were talking about Sue, the T-Rex in Chicago. Like, or is that actually Sue? Because they take casts and they remake and rebuild the skeletons, and there is still yet to be a discovery, as far as I've heard. If anybody in the chat, any of you guys in the chat, knows differently or anything like that, absolutely tell me. But I've understood that there's never been a complete dinosaur skeleton found intact as of yet. And everything else has just been sort of made up and kind of figured based off of the lizards and stuff that we have, that we have now. And that there was actually this battle back in like the late 1800s, when dinosaurs were first discovered. There were these two guys, sort of like, as I was saying yesterday briefly, sort of like the Tesla and the Edison, right, of these dinosaur hunters in the dinosaur hunting world. And they were kind of, fighting against each other. Who could find the craziest dinosaur skeleton and sell it to the museums? There's so much money in dinosaurs, not just things getting sold to the museum, but the merchandising aspect and stuff. Dinosaur 13, right, James? Dinosaur 13. I haven't had a chance to look that up yet or watch it. Have you had a chance to listen to Dinosaur Jr. yet? Because you should do that. But so what this guy, Eric Dubé, was saying was that basically they did not exist. And I'm not saying that I believe dinosaurs never existed. I wasn't alive when dinosaurs existed, so I don't know. However, I also know I haven't seen a real dinosaur fossil, like legit. And what I have seen, let me also say what I have seen from what I remember, is that the dinosaur fossils that I have seen are not like the legit ones, not the ones that are remade from plaster and molds and things like that. The legit ones that I have seen are like so fragmented. Like, how do I know that came from a dinosaur? So Chris, you saw them when they were working on the reconstruction of Sue's skull. The lab was viewable to the public at the Field Museum. Okay. Okay, but yeah, all right. So they were reconstructing Sue's skull. So reconstructing it, like, there you go, reconstructing it based off of what? Like how did they know? And someone was saying, I think it was somebody from the UK that was in the chat. They were saying that they had an ex-mother-in-law or something that was there when Sue was discovered at the dig site, and the FBI actually came and like snatched her away. So like, I'd be curious, what were they actually reconstructing Sue's anatomy from to create this, you know, this entire skeleton, right? You have Sue's head off to the side is real. Okay. And we know that how? How do we know that? How do we know that? We don't know that. I wasn't there. Just because they told us that. I don't know. But see, this again, like I'm saying, I'm not saying I believe dinosaurs never existed. I'm just saying this guy, Eric Dubé, does, you know, he does make a good point. And you should look it up and watch it. It's an interesting, it's an interesting little theory, I guess. It's an interesting theory. He does make some interesting points. You can look it up. It's right here. This is what you're going to want to look for. Eric Dubé, dinosaurs never existed. This guy's got some crazy YouTube videos too that I've seen. I don't know. Yes, Lisa, exactly like I was saying. He does make a lot of very good points that do make you go, well, I don't know, you know, maybe. But I'll leave that up for you guys just a little bit longer. Sorry. And but it's worth looking up. It's worth a watch. And he also has some other videos that go a little out there. But still, all of his videos are if you're looking for something interesting to listen to while you're in the shower, if you've blown your vocal cords from singing too much Smash Mouth while you're getting ready for work, this is what you should do instead. Give those vocal cords a rest. Watch some Eric Dubé. Listen to it, including this one. Dinosaurs never existed. So, like I said, in this case this week, it's not necessarily something about UFOs or UFO sighting. I saw this dino show and thought, you know, well, maybe I'd be curious to look into this and look up this Eric Dubé thing again. And he does make a lot of good points. The video's not very long. I think it's maybe a half hour video, so it won't take up too much of your time or anything like that. But definitely worth having a look and checking it out. So let me know, actually. Let's do this isn't full homework, but for next week, let's continue this. I'd be curious to see what you guys have to say. Is a nodosaur the sleeping dinosaur? Yes, okay. You know why Tyrannosaurus Rexes can't make their own bed? Because they're fucking dead! James, okay, this is it. James, you were the one. All right, James is saying, I'll get my ex-wife to connect with you and explain how paleontologists do their job. And in Dinosaur 13, they show videos from the dig site. Okay, I'm sure they do. I'm sure, yeah, like I said, I'm sure they do. But, you know, nowadays you got to question everything. You got to question everything, especially since we are most definitely tits deep into Project Bluebeam right now. Make no mistake. We all know it. We all know it's true. Project Bluebeam, we're in it. It's happening right now. So even more so, how are you supposed to know what is exactly going on? You'll run out of hot water if you stay in the shower long enough to listen to the whole video. Well, maybe I like being pruny. Yeah, never mind. That came out wrong. But yeah, so maybe that'll be some loose homework for next week to think about. Like, did dinosaurs exist? I don't know. Because even some of the things too, like what's the one with the big neck? What's the one with the big neck that scoops up? Like, I thought I remember hearing something that even researchers are starting to say now and feel and assume and guess that that those dinosaurs couldn't have existed because they couldn't have had the muscle capacity to hold their neck up like that. I mean, you look at a giraffe, but these what is it, a lickalotopus, whatever the hell it's called. Who gives a shit? Get on with it, Sperry. Yeah, Littlefoot. Sure, Littlefoot. Yeah, whatever the hell Littlefoot was. Besides dinner for Sharptooth. But Brontosaurus. Thank you, Brontosaurus. Right, Doug. The only thing you know about T-Rex is dinosaurs. They don't like push-ups. That's right. And it would collapse under its own weight. Right. Because they never existed, like Donna said. See, I'm not trying to perpetuate Eric Dubé's thing. Yeah, so, but you get the idea. Really quick, though, I want to give a shout-out. We do have some fans watching that have submitted books for the Anti-Conjuror story time. I've been really kind of caught up the past few days trying to get some projects done. So, unfortunately, I'm behind on the Anti-Conjuror story time by 2 days now. Definitely going to try to get it out by the end of today. And so the new, this week's Anti-Conjuror story time is actually coming up It's a book that I've had for forever. I've been a really big fan of Edward Gorey for years and years and years, and this is one of my favorite books by Edward Gorey. It's The Ghastly Crumb Tinies by Edward Gorey. I also love the artwork in this book that he has made for it. I mean, it's really great stuff, really just sketchy and weird. Almost has a feel similar but different to like what I was showing you about Chris Grimley a few weeks ago when I was reading some of Chris's material, who also has more episodes coming up. But Chris has some, he's great with watercolor, really amazing. Edward Gorey, really amazing. Kate in the chat, she gave a book that's coming along the ways as well. But I thought I would share just a couple things from this book. This is almost like, if you guys remember Shel Silverstein, or however you are supposed to pronounce his name. He had those, A Light in the Attic, Where the Sidewalk Ends, The Giving Tree. He also had a book called Uncle Shelby's ABZ Book, which was like a spoof kind of comedy book that he wrote of weird little poems that it's like supposed to be a book for kids, but then all of a sudden it takes these really weird, dark and strange and malicious turn to it, and sort of similar things are with this book. And I thought I'd share just a couple. It's an ABC sort of thing, and I'm just going to go random through the book and stop here. We're going to, okay, I'll read just a couple of them right now. G is for George, smothered under a rug. And there's George getting smothered under the rug. G is for George, smothered under the rug. H is for Hector, done in by a thug. I is for Ida, who drowned in a lake. J is for James, who took lye by mistake. And there's James drinking lye in his house up on the stool. I'm surprised he didn't fall off that stool right there, crack his neck on the side of the sink. And then when he came to, have the vision for the flux capacitor, which is what makes time travel possible. So this is what's coming out later today for Anti-Conjuror Story Time, this amazing book. And if you want to get your own copy, you can probably find this on Amazon. I mean, this is published by, hang on, let me check. Harcourt Incorporated, Orlando, Austin, New York, San Diego, Toronto, London. Yeah, okay. So whatever, you can probably find it on Amazon, but that's it. Edward Gorey, check it out. Really great stuff here. Really fun illustrations, fun story, great book. All of Edward Gorey's stuff is great, so this is what's coming out later today for Anti-Conjuror Story Time. And now, since we're talking about Story Time's videos and Anti-Conjuror, now it's time for new magic, so get excited. This is new magic premiere. Okay, so new magic premiere. What's actually going to happen is I'm going to need somebody from the chat for this one. Let me just readjust the webcam here so that we can get our schmance. Close up, Matt, ready to go. This is going to be a card trick. Again, this is a card trick. I'm using my In Matorum deck that you can get from my website, dansperry.com. There's the deck right there. Speaking of Chris Grimley, he helped design that Penta Rabbit logo that is actually featured on both sides. You can see right there, Penta Rabbit logo on both sides, printed by the United States Playing Card Company. You can get your own at dansperrystore.com. That's enough of that. Now, what's interesting about this deck is some of these decks, you guys might not know this, decks of cards are haunted by ghosts. I know. Try not to freak out. Contain yourselves. Decks of cards are haunted by ghosts. And if you look, you can see that this deck has the plastic still on it. I've actually torn the plastic off the top of the deck, but I've left this this cellophane intact around the box, because this box, like I was saying, it actually contains a ghost. I caught a ghost in my Ghostbuster trap, because if you remember, the homework for this week was to watch Ghostbusters, which is what influenced me to attempt this. So I caught a ghost. I kept him in my little personal trap, which is inside this box of playing cards. And if you don't believe me, you can see he's trying to get out. They don't like staying in there. He tries to get out. So watch, if I take the deck, and if I hold it right, you hold it right using the right on the logo, you can actually watch. Let me see if this will pick this up. Hopefully it will. You can watch closely. You can see it there. Yeah. You can see it there. If I just hold on to it, watch, you'll see the deck actually begin to want to slide. Look. Ooh, spooky. The deck is actually moving out of the plastic cellophane. Don't let him out. Don't let him out. Oh, that was a close one, boys and girls. Boys and girls. But you can see it's just cellophane and the box And the box. Sorry, I just totally did that right into the mic. That was rude. Not very professional of you, Dan. Get it together. But he lives inside the little box. So I put the cellophane back on the box. Watch this part. Watch. If I just try and hold him, if I try and keep him sealed inside the box, just by placing my finger on the box, you'll notice the box actually, he still tries to rise as if he's rising from the grave. Spooky. 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 Don't let him out. Don't let him out. Oh, that was close again, boys and girls. You can see it's just a plastic, but that's okay. That's actually not important. We do need the cards out of the box, though. And this is something where I'm going to need some of you guys to help with this. Get rid of that. I'm going to need somebody to name a number in just a minute. I'm going to shuffle up there. I'm actually going to take out a prediction card. This is not a full deck, so this is going to take a second. Hold on. We're going to go with the... This is not working out so good. 10. Do I have a 10 of spades, 10 of clubs? Let's see. We're going to find each other's cards. Here we go. 10 of clubs. Got it. Got it. All right. 10 of clubs. This is going to be my card. But now, you guys might not realize this, but there are cards that are partners. So, if I put the 10 of clubs back in the deck... Actually, let's not use the 10. Let's use something brighter because I want you guys to be able to see it. Let's see if we got... Let's see what we got in here for... Do we got any... We can use... That one. No, wait. Let's use... We don't have any... This is not going well because it's not a full deck. Instead, something easier to see. We'll go, if you guys are familiar with Penn and Teller, we'll go a little Penn and Teller tribute here. We'll use the 3 of clubs instead. Much easier to see, much easier to notice. The 3 of clubs, this is the card we're going to use. This is going to be my card. You are going to find the match. I'm going to need somebody to find the match to this, the pair to the 3 of clubs, which is going to be the 3 of spades. So instead of the 3 of clubs, we need to find the 3 of spades. But instead of going through the deck and trying to find it, you guys are actually going to find it. I'm going to need somebody to name a number in just a moment. I don't want you to name it just yet because I'm going to need you to actually, first of all, notice that the deck is different. The deck is different. I'll give it a shuffle. Somebody name a number. Since it isn't a full deck, let's just go like 1 through 30. First person to name a number 1 through 30. You name it out loud right now. Go. Drop it in the chat. Actually, don't name it out loud because I'm not going to be able to hear it. Drop it in the chat. 1 through 30. Go. First one. 6. 27. Oh, 27. Doug, I saw Doug first. Sorry, Kate. Doug came in first with 27. All right, so we're going to count down 27 cards. You can see they are different. They are mixed. We're going to count down 27. I'll give it one more shuffle. And you know what? I'll even give it a cut like that. So we'll go down 27 cards, and let's see how we did. Now, Doug, even though you're in the chat, I saw your number come up first. This was not set up ahead of time. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Let's make sure that stays separate. We got all the ones over here. Remember, I started with the 3 of clubs, Penn and Teller style. Doug said 27. We stopped at 27, and we actually landed at the 3 of spades. Even though Doug said it in the chat, we have not set this up before. This was not set up, but we found the match in a completely mixed up, shuffled, all different deck of cards. Magic show! Thanks, Doug. Thanks, guys, for watching. Yay! If you liked it, throw some thumbs up and some hearts up in the chat so I can also make sure everybody's still awake. We're not falling asleep yet this week, are we? Are we? Gotta stay awake. Gotta stay awake. Now, I had mentioned in this little magic trick about how I got inspired by our homework to watch Ghostbusters, and that was our homework this week. So that brings us up to this section that we call homework. Okay, so homework is where each week we talk about videos that we've watched. We put it in the chat last week that this week's homework for this episode was to watch Ghostbusters, a great classic movie, comedy. We're not going to be talking about that one accident that happened that should have been aborted. That sometimes people abort accidents. Should have aborted that accident that happened in 2016. But we're talking about the real one, the original Ghostbusters, and we got this Afterlife one coming up next summer. Can't wait. But this one, the original one, this is the one that we are talking about this week, the original Ghostbusters that we watched, and what a great piece of film. It is a great comedy, one that I haven't watched in a while. One of my great buddies, Joey Simpson, you watch him with us on the Anti-Gaming Gaming Show. Huge Ghostbuster fan. I was a huge Ghostbuster fan growing up when I was a kid. And I've watched this. I would watch this all the time when I was young, right? But even now that I've gotten older, I've still watched it every once in a while. You know, I'm not mad about it. I still like it. We'll still watch it. But I haven't really sat and watched it in the past, I'd say maybe 2 years. And I watched it again, and I was really amazed at how well written it is. Jokes and things that I didn't get even a few years ago, I'm starting to discover and catch and realize. And what a great movie and a great cast. Like, there's just no way you could top that cast. Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis did an amazing job not only writing it but acting in it. Dan Aykroyd obviously meant to play Ray, but some fun facts about Ghostbusters that I did not know was that Harold Ramis wasn't going to play Egon, not originally. Instead, the reason Harold decided to take on the Egon role was because he was, writing the script and he felt nobody could actually really pull off Egon. But there were a couple people in line in the kitty being seriously considered, one of which was Christopher Walken. Now, as great as Christopher Walken can be, I don't know about you guys, but I could never see Christopher Walken playing Egon. Just not for me. I just don't see that. Christopher Lloyd was another option for someone to play Egon. Now, that's someone that I feel I could see playing Egon. I could definitely see Christopher Lloyd playing Egon. And there was one other, I should have taken notes, but I forgot. There was one more person that they were considering to play Egon, but I remember thinking Christopher Lloyd, a very close second, I think, to Harold Ramis, but Harold Ramis did an amazing job as Egon. As far as Peter Venkman goes, here's something interesting. It was actually, who was it? John Belushi. It was John Belushi because since all those boys go back to Second City, they were Second City boys, and John Belushi knew Dan Aykroyd, he knew Harold, he also knew Bill Murray, but it was actually supposed to be John Belushi that was going to play Peter Venkman. They also looked into even considering Robin Williams, who thank God did not get cast as Peter Venkman because, in my opinion, Bill Murray, probably his most best-known role, his most iconic role outside of Caddyshack, but I still think he wins for Ghostbusters as Peter Venkman. I mean, Bill Murray's been in a lot of great movies. What About Bob? Scrooged? So many great movies, but I really think his Bill Murray role is what really stood out and has been really iconic, and I couldn't imagine anybody else being Peter Venkman. There was also Eddie Murphy. I kept trying to say Eddie Muddy. Eddie Murphy was actually supposed to play James. Dan Aykroyd's brother was the inspiration for Ray because he was a real-life parapsychologist. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. Dan Aykroyd's grandfather, actually, because Dan Aykroyd has, in case you guys don't know, Dan Aykroyd would probably love this show because Dan Aykroyd has always been very interested in the supernatural, the paranormal, the unexplained, conspiracy, all of that stuff. And actually, Dan Aykroyd's grandfather claimed to have made a radio that can contact and speak with dead people, which is an interesting little nugget. I'd love to see that. They gotta maybe have at least the guts of it lying around somewhere. You'd think, you'd hope, but maybe not. But yeah, Eddie Murphy was going to play Winston, but he left to go to Beverly Hills Cop instead. The craziest one that I heard was actually having John Candy play Rick Moranis' role of Louis Tully. They were actually going to have John Candy play Louis Tully, but he backed out of the project, and instead they got Rick Moranis. And I really think, sort of like with Bill Murray, as much and as great as John Candy is, I mean, come on, Uncle Buck, can't beat Uncle Buck. Cool Runnings, all of his great movies. Even his role as the security guard in the original Vacation, amazing. But I just don't think I could see John Candy playing Louis Tully in this in Ghostbusters. Honestly, Rick Moranis, he is Louis Tully forever and ever, and always will be. So that's just some fun facts about Ghostbusters going on there. However, for this week though, this week, we're going to keep on with the comedy theme for the homework. I'm going to show you guys the little trailer for what we are going to be working with and doing for next week. It's another comedy, not an 80s comedy, but it's a classic comedy that I think has gotten a bit more of a cult following because it's one of those movies that not a lot of people talk about, but the minute you bring it up, people go, oh my God, that's right. Yes, that movie. This is an amazing, hilarious movie that they just don't make movies like this anymore. Watching Ghostbusters, I was thinking to myself going, God damn it, they don't make quality, intelligent, purely brilliant, funny movies anymore. Like if I have to watch Bridesmaids or Adam Sandler say poo poo pee pee one more time, I'm going to run down a steep hill with a fork in my mouth. Like they just don't make good comedies anymore. And this is another really great comedy that came out of the earlier 90s. Like I said, not the 80s, but earlier 90s. Brilliant comedy. And it uses some people that you might recognize, two of which classic actors, amazing actors, highly respected actors, Kurt Russell and Martin Short. And it's a little movie called Captain Ron. So check out the trailer for next week's homework, Captain Ron. Yar.
Isn't this great? Open ocean, uncharted islands. Who knows what's waiting for us out there?
The mighty Caribbean, home of romance, adventure, and living legends like Captain Ron.
This here the Harvey boat?
A man of courage and dedication, to whom the sea is more than a job, more than a calling. It's home.
Are you kidding?
Now, he's about to cast his very special spell on the Harveys.
Sucks.
I have worked very, very hard to plan a spontaneous adventure, and Captain Goofy, hey boss, Captain Cyclops, Captain's Contagious over there is screwing it up. Ah! You know, there's gorillas in these woods. No gorillas, not here, no way. He said gorilla, not gorilla. Huge difference.
Whoa, Dad's losing it.
Captain Ron, Captain Ron. May I have the camera, please?
Captain Ron doesn't mean a thing to me.
I am not jealous.
Captain Ron is teaching them the laws of the sea.
Hey, get your hands off that. You want a beer, you get your own beer.
Taking them to places they never dreamed of.
Martin, we're in Cuba?
Back to the raft! Back to the raft!
And he's turning these four sailors into one big happy family.
I never seen such sailors, not in all my born days I ain't. Every one of you is naturals.
The Pirates of the Caribbean!
What pirates?
Kurt Russell.
Pirates in the Caribbean.
Martin Short.
Been to Disney World one too many times, have we, Captain Ron?
Captain Ron.
Dad!
Captain Ron, could you come up, please? Captain Ron? Captain Ron?
What a great video. Yeah, I can see you guys in the chat. Michael, you saw Captain Ron when you were younger with your family, your dad, and you have never laughed harder together. Yeah, Lisa, yeah, so much pastel. It was the 90s. What do you want? But yeah, exactly. We got Martin Short coming from Canada, one of your guys' better exports outside of Tim Hortons and Boutine. James, this is one of my favorite 90s movies. Unsigned Metal 2020. What's up, dude? What's happening? Hopefully we can stream tomorrow. We'll get to that in a second. We can play tomorrow. A great movie, funny as hell. Donna, you guys watched this a couple weeks ago. This was a movie that, for me, you guys probably experienced similar things, where there was always like a movie or two. Most of the time, I'm assuming if you guys were like my family, they were comedies that your family would get together and watch. And no matter how many times you saw them, it was never groaned. It was never like, oh, we just watched that, you know. Nothing like that. Captain Ron was like that for my family, and we would watch it all the time. One of our favorite movies, one of my favorite movies growing up. Really sort of, like I was saying, in my opinion, underrated, almost easily forgotten. But like I said, look what's going on in the chat right now. If you've seen Captain Ron, if you remember it, give me a thumbs up. Give me a heart if you're on Facebook. Hit the heart. Hit the thumbs up. Let me see it blow it up over here so you guys can show some love for Captain Ron, for Martin Short, and for Kurt Russell. What a great movie. Really well written, well put together. We got Kyle McIntosh. What's up, dude? Great work again with the cards and all that. Exactly. Same thing. Unsigned Metal 2020. I wish they still made movies like that. That's exactly what I was just saying. Just the writing, the way it was put together, really, really great. So that's the homework for next week. We're going to watch Captain Ron, talk about that next week. So hopefully you guys can find it on Amazon, rent it on Amazon. I don't know if it's on Netflix because I don't watch Netflix. I choose not to give them my money. And that's a story for another time. Exactly, Jack Edwards, the original Overboard. Yes, the original Overboard was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, great movie. Again, they just don't make movies like that anymore. But that's the homework for next week. Check out Captain Juan. Don't wanna watch Juan. Check out Captain Ron for next week's homework. We'll talk about it, talk about some fun facts with Captain Ron, and share some laughs and lines from it, etc. So that's about it. We've gone overtime again. Jesus Christ. Almost an hour and a half this week. So some quick things before we button this up and pack it up. Generally speaking, usually we do live streams every Wednesday for sure, and at least one other stream after that is what we do, the Anti-Gaming Gaming Show, which is where we game and stream live on Twitch right here from AV Vegas in Las Vegas, right here from the Rave Cave, from our studios. But unfortunately, we have to postpone it tonight. We've had some things come up with the guys that are building the haunt, and we're not going to be able to get all together, but we're going to be doing it tomorrow. So follow me on Instagram. Keep your eyes on my Facebook page, as well as my Twitch, depending on where you all are watching right now. I will let you know. You'll be notified that when we're going live, but just to let you know now, we're going live tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific time, twitch.tv/antigaminggaming show, or just go to antigaminggamingshow.com. That'll link tree you to everywhere that we need to be to have you guys check us out and see it and interact with us live. You guys have seen me play the video clips. You've seen it before. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Tomorrow we got some more special guests and some more crazy stuff that's going to unfold and happen. And that's about it. Thank you for being patient and understanding and allowing me to postpone after yesterday to today. Thank you for tuning in as always, because we have shared with each other what has been called your most valuable possession, and that is your time, because it's something that when given away, you can never get it back again. So I appreciate you guys spending a little bit of your time with me this afternoon. Promise is not to waste it. Quick shout out to my boys and buddies here at AV Vegas, a great production company here in Las Vegas. They hook me up when I'm on tour. They hook me up when I do Black Magic Wednesday at the Griffin. Keep your eye on blackmagicwednesday.com. The best goddamn bar in town. Hope to see you guys at the Griffin sometime. The original late night magic show featuring a free drink once a week, every Wednesday at the Griffin in the secret back room, limited to only 40 people. Nothing personal. It's just how we do, because we want to keep it exclusive. With that being said, I'm going to leave you guys with, buy some shit if you want. DansBerryStore.com. I should put that in the notes. DansBerryStore.com. We got something cool coming up that's going to be released. You know what? I'm going to try to get it together by next week. I'll tease it maybe by next week. Something new coming out. But this is also where we've come to the end. I'd like to leave you guys with some crazy, fun, weird, interesting music every week. This music is actually not by one person. This is another mashup. If you guys remember, a few weeks ago, I closed out with a mashup, and we're doing that again. This is a mashup of Thomas the Tank Engine combined with Panic at the Disco. So since we're on some nostalgia, I thought I'd bring out some Thomas the Tank Engine, because I remember watching that as a kid and loving it. Never really got to Panic at the Disco, though, so whatever. Not really a fan. I don't find them that interesting or pleasant to the hearing buds. So that's about it. Here we go. Shining off, everybody. Enjoy Thomas the Tank Engine Shining Time Station's theme combined with Panic at the Disco. Love you, mean it. We'll see you guys next week. Gute Nacht.
Well, imagine as I'm pacing the pews in a church corridor, and I can't help but to hear, no, I can't help but to hear an exchanging of words. What a beautiful wedding, what a beautiful wedding, says the bridesmaid to a waiter. But what a shame the poor groom's bride is off. I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poise and rationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of Well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically your marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast, so pour the champagne. Oh, well, in fact, well, I'll look at it this way. I mean, technically our marriage is saved. Well, this calls for a toast, so pour the champagne, pour the champagne. I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison nationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison rationality. I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of poison nationality. I chime in, haven't you people ever heard of closing a damn door? No, it's much better to face these kinds of things with a sense of